Mr. Emefiele is rather banking on organized protests by his associates on the streets. It is equally obvious that the CBN governor is attempting to alter the issue at hand by turning the entire issue of his involvement into a media drama in the expectation that he can distract Nigerians from demanding action on his indictment. In our view, there have been a handful of seemingly unrelated issues that we believe Nigerians must now demand that Mr. Emefiele provides explanations for. Taken in isolation, these are like routine matters, but when interrogated against the background of the DSS indictment, the consequences are alarming because it is obvious we are entrusted the most sensitive part of our national life to a man that has no qualms with making profit from anywhere. First, national intervention program handled by the CBN were largely used to benefit people known only to Emefiele and his associates. The programs were also likely expected as cover to funnel funds to questionable recipients, which could explain the how and the why for terrorists now running short of funds to sustain their logistics for the war they have been waging against Nigeria. We are no longer amazed that the banking sector has not been helpful in tracking terrorism financing, including the baffling scenario of bandits receiving ransom into bank accounts from where they convert same into forex and export abroad. Let us not forget that against the norm and global best practice, a serving CBN governor went partisan and was for a remarkable length of time a presidential aspirant of All Progressive Congress, APC. Please know that this partnership is most likely at the root of Emefiele's anger. He had engaged in some of the crimes the DSS now wants to arrest him for as a means of creating scenarios to campaign with. But after being rejected and told off by the public opinion, he became vindictive to the point where he no longer cares whether his actions destroy Nigeria or not. Emefiele's economic sabotage is well documented as he has plunged Nigeria into untold suffering. We have watched in alarm as he moved from one deliberate and calculated monetary policy bungled to the other. While this may seem like ineptitude or crass incompetence on the surface, we now know that these destructive policies were implemented to enable Emefiele's associates to benefit from the damage he is causing the country. The latest of this misadventure is the introduction of recolored 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes, which Emefiele associates have again hijacked to the detriment of citizens. Contrary to the assurances he gave President Muhammadu Buhari to secure approval for the exercise, commercial banks ran short of available notes. Within 6 hours of the December 15, 200 naira note takeoff date, while all the touted benefits were proven untrue within 48 hours. What we find most baffling is the temerity with which Mr. Emefiele is attempting to precipitate civil unrest with a draconian cash withdrawal policy that is programmed to inevitably incite nationwide protests and breakdown of law and order. The cashless policy is desirable but should be demand-driven, which means Nigerians should be allowed to grow into this culture of electronic transaction and not coerce into it in a manner that will cause them to revolt. But it seems Emefiele is precipitating a mass revolt with the draconian measures announced so far, which can only indicate he is working for an interest other than that of the federal government of Nigeria. Would he be working for the opposition? On the strength of the foregoing stand-up for Nigeria with the National Conscious Movement is hereby demanding that Mr. Emefiele resigns his position as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria within the next 24 hours. If Mr. Emefiele has not resigned upon the expiration of our 24-hour ultimatum, we shall be convened to on 4 measures that will ensure he complies.